Hi, welcome to this very first lecture of environmental adaptation of animals. My name is Vesa Painen and I'm the teacher in this course. We will start from the very basic idea. What is animal? What is environment? And what is the physiology doing with environmental adaptation? And what are the levels of organization that we should think or consider on the animal when they are adapting on different environments? So should we just compare different genes, different proteins on cellular level, on tissue level, or do they also have whole animal or even ecological consequences? Let's start from bird migration. This is red knot, meaning isosirri in Finnish. A migrating typical bird, living in northern hemisphere in the summertime, and then for the winter they are traveling south. And if we think on the basic energy need of the flying, they are consuming oxygen and producing carbon dioxide to produce ATP for these muscles. And at the same time, of course, they need some energy source like sugar. And as a byproduct of this energy consumption, they are producing heat. So if you have large energy storages and enough oxygen available, then you can fly. Well, for short distance, it works just like this. But for long distance, there are also tissue and organ level changes. And this red knot is a long distance flyer. From areas like Finland, they are only traveling to West Africa. But the red knot in Canada, they are flying by New York all the way to South America and even on the south end of the South America. And these long distance flyers, you can see from the roads that they are crossing the oceans. That means that, okay, you can't just land on ground for rest because there's no land, but you must fly very long distance. And for that, you need a lot of energy. The flying of this red knot consumes about 7 times more energy than the resting energy use. And this flying is not just, okay, I will fly on the daytime and rest on night, but it has a stopover period and flight period. And this stopover can last for 3 to 4 weeks. That means that, okay, they are resting for 1 month in one place, and during which they get weight by 50%. Okay, this then means that, okay, they are eating a lot, they are using their stomach, intestine, to increase the body weight in fat. And then, when they start the flight period, they reduce the size of stomach and intestine, and at the same time increase the size of heart. So this means that, okay, our organs are quite flexible when we are have these challenges in our environment. And well, they have this increase the size of the heart, so they have more blood flow in their blood veins, and that means that, okay, there is more oxygen available for the muscles, and that makes the flying possible. Okay, that means that, okay, we are just not just the animal shape even can be changing when they are, for example, migrating. Okay, what does this happen? Why does physiology have common with this environmental adaptation? Because quite often, if we go in physiological congress, the majority of the researchers are interested only in human diseases and the details on biomechanics. So there are only few researchers in a typical congress that have ever been studying anything else except mice or rat. However, in International Union of Physiological Society, one of these 8 commissions is named Comparative Evolution, Adaptation and Environment. This then practically means that at least on the planet level, there are some researchers that are studying, for example, these trouts. And so animals are studied, but we can use them for two different purposes. Either to model the human organs or to describe the mechanism by which these animals can survive in their environment. The previous goal is quite popular, but unfortunately this trout is very bad model for human organs. But then the latter, it's not so often done, but this trout is a very good model of this trout. So if we can understand that, okay, what are the limitations of this adaptation on this species, then we can understand that, okay, what happens if we have a climate change or whatever. So can they survive or will they die? But then, in comparative physiology and in this wildlife, the problem is that it's integrated. It's not only that, okay, how the muscles are working, but also it's also on evolution. So if they are escaping from the predators and fail, well, they die. If they succeed, their genes will be delivered for the next generation and the next generation. And so the offspring will have these genes that were giving the possibility to escape. So that's why for this pheasant, all-out exertion to escape is crucial for ecological and evolutionary level of organization. But at the same time, we should know that, okay, these are the structures of the muscle in this pheasant. And so the contractility properties, they help to determine how fast it can escape. So are there a possibility that, okay, it can escape, or will it be a prey? And then also in the biochemical level. So we have a Krebs cycle with several different enzymes, and depending how fast these enzymes are working, it affects on the rate of ATP production. And then if we know all the chemical roles in this animal, we can understand that, okay, how fast it can produce ATP. And then this ATP can be used for these contractility properties. And then it either can escape or die. Okay, that's why we have several levels of organization, and actually we should study all of them and know at least something on them. First of all, we have molecular biology. What kind of genes this trout has? How the gene products are interacting with each other. So this biochemistry level. Then we have cell biology level. So if we have muscle cells in this trout, how they are working, how these proteins are working in the real cell together. Then we have organ level and system physiology level. Then we have morphological properties. Then we have biomechanism. So like how these muscles are moving, etc. And then we have the ecological level. And that's the reason why this comparative ecology or environmental adaptation is so challenging but also interesting, because you are studying all these levels at the same time. Let's have an example on this trout migration. First of all, we have the evolution pathway. So because the animals, the products are of evolution and they are still evolvable. So animals have been adapted on different streams like these trouts, and the physical separation between these populations affects on the genetic differences. So animals that are, because they are making the offspring in the same place year after year, so these populations are getting far from each other in genetic level. Then we have the chemistry and physics. So we can't break the laws of chemistry or physics, but we can take advance on them. So if we have a little bit better enzymes to produce, for example, a little bit more energy or different kind of end products in this energy production, we can survive. Then we have the physiological level. Like we have cell physiology, so how the nerves are working. Then what kind of nervous system we have. Then what kind of morphology this animal has, and what kind of how the biochemistry is working. Then this morphology is affecting on biomechanisms, so how this animal is moving, how fast it can swim, etc. And then on the ecology level, we have when the cells are migrating from seawater to freshwater, they have completely different problem in their gills. One of these environments is hypertonic, one is hypotonic. So you must you must get rid of salt, or you must get rid of water in your body. And it even affects that, okay, depending on how long they will travel in the river, it affects on the size of ovaries. That means that, okay, if the river is long enough, there is no idea to swim in the end, because you lost the size of ovaries, you will not get any offspring at all. Thank you.